Hi guys, and so today we're going to be working on my brother Jack. Say hi.
Hello.
So what we're going to be doing, we're going to be working with, it's a forward moving, backwards, so it's like a side parting pretty much, but he has it all blended this side. So there's no undercut, there's no line or anything I got to separate it, it's all just moving backwards. I'm going to create a nice high silhouette coming backwards, and it's going to be a 2 batten sides, tapered down the skin, and it's going to be following through to a 3 on a beard. So as always, start on my foundation from growth pattern to just above recession. Turn you. So obviously from growth pattern to recession. Making sure the section's nice and clean. Remembering line theory. Same process the other side. Again guys, as you know, if you've seen any of my previous videos, my barbershop is attached to the gym, to a gym in my area, and so if you hear any banging or loud music or anything, it's from the gym. And if it is loud music, I will go in and turn it down. But I can't control the laughing and the sing songs. So as you can see, horseshoe section. Obviously using your line theory and going with the growth pattern rather than just a clean horseshoe section. Starting at the back again. As always, starting at the back. Bring it down, finding the length you want, determining the length you want by leaving it there. Obviously if I was going to start here, then the crown's going to be pretty much gone when I run the 2 up and through it. Pulling it down. And as you can see, still got the previous cut. So you've got your long bit in the middle. So you've still got your guidelines, and this is from a previous cut 4 or 5 weeks ago, Jack?
Yeah.
Determining your length, determining your shape. Pulling it down nice and tight. Knuckles tight to the head, as we are just going to go straight up and through the foundation with clippers. Guideline. Use my icons as always. 5.5 icons, my tacky. So I'm going to keep the weight in the corner, and by doing this, as I said just now, my fingers are going to be tight to the head, but at the corner behind here, the corner of the back of the head, it's going to be loose. So it's tight here, as you can see my comb can't go through, and there's loads of space here. But my fingers are pretty much straight, but it's coming straight off the head. So I'm not tight here. If I was going to go and making a round shape, it'd be coming round tight, but I'm creating a square shape at the back. This is just for styling and how I like to cut pretty much nearly every haircut that I do, because it keeps the weight in the corners at the back. Going back through if you need to. Always double check your work guys, we are only human at the end of the day. And as you can see then we've got a nice weighted scissor line there. That's your foundation. That's what the 3 is going to be going straight up and through. And moving on to the other side. Exactly the same process. So I've got my guide for my new cut. It's here. Same again, I'm not following the skull around because I want a square back. And you will see the emphasis when I emphasize it through the style, why I'm keeping the weight here. I will obviously scissor it through to make it a little bit lighter if it is too heavy at the end. So just wait until the end for that then, just before the styling. Previous cut, knuckles tight to the head. Knuckles are tight to the head, so it creates the foundation, which is going to be a lot easier for you, so there's hardly any blending towards the end. I do this with every single cut I do, unless it is a buzz cut, obviously, which is all clippers. There we have it again. Got your nice scissor line. That's your foundation. A bit more weighted in the corner, as you can see, it's a little bit heavier here. Now straight through the middle, as always, from growth pattern, the growth pattern at the front, normally centre, as it is there, look, as you can see. Section it through. Nice and clean sections. So now, because you're going to be having it blended, this side, and there's not going to be an undercut either, I tend to keep it, the elevation, pretty much in line with the foundation, but I elevate it a little bit, so it takes some of the weight off through it. So it doesn't, when you're combing it forward and around, there's no lines anywhere, there's no actual weight or anything there, it's just nice and subtle and a nice full blend, and when it's unstyled, it'll just sit lovely as well. So in essence, you can wear it messy and forward as well, to the side. So again, coming on, making sure they're nice and square at the back, but I'm elevating it a little bit, so I'm pulling it away. So as you've seen in my previous haircuts, I pull down to the foundation. For this one, I'm catching the foundation and I'm elevating. This is going to make this side slightly rounder than all the other haircuts you've seen me do. And that's because it's a sideways movement haircut. So this side's going to be coming forward, this is up and back. Elevating and pulling away from the head as you come closer to the front, because this is determining the length then, because obviously it's got further distance to go from here, so you've got more length in this part than you have at the back. Jack doesn't want much off the top, so I'm not actually going to take too much off. So as you can see then, that is how it's going to sit. There's no scissor mark there at all. Obviously with the foundation there is, but above the foundation that's just all nice and subtle. And that's how it's going to be blow dried forward. Excuse me guys, I need a drink. Similar process the other side, but it's going to be a lot heavier moving backwards here. So I'm going to elevate it the same, but I'm going to make it just past the foundation. So to keep the weight there, to maintain the silhouette, to maintain the shape coming through with the style. So maintaining my squareness. The foundation is just under that. Elevate it a little bit higher and pulling it further back. Further away. Again, further away as you get to more forward. This is to maintain the length of the fringe. A lot less weight there. If you come forward, you can see it's a little bit heavier this side than what the other side is, but that's due to the styling that you're going to be receiving at the end. And now, the extra safety blanket, centre profile line. Maintaining it nice and square to the top. This is what helps you do that, guys. Again, I do this on every single haircut, unless it's a buzz cut. So with Jack's here today, we're starting at the back, maintaining should have wore a white top. I forgot how jet black my brother's hair is. Maintaining the line theory, using line theory, and we're creating an angle here, a slope. This is not quite to that extreme, but this is going to maintain the length of the fringe, is going to elevate the silhouette, enhance the silhouette, sorry guys. So with a slight angle, remember Jack doesn't want too much off, starting right back with the crown. Picking up, cutting off. Got your guide. Guide. Maintaining that shape. Using line theory at all times. Now I'll go this way so you can see the sections I take. So I've combed this high out and cut, centre profile to the middle, and this is going to be where you're going to be seeing the safety blanket. So obviously I've got my elevation line here, my centre profile line here, and I got the long bit in the middle. My fingers are going to be square, so I want to keep the top nice and level, with a little bit more weight coming through the channels. That exposes a little bit more weight coming through the channels. So that long bit here, so straight cut. Same process, same section, pulling back into the previous haircut slightly. If you're not over directing it, you're pulling it straight up, but slightly back into the previous cut. Centre profile, elevation, and then you've got a third safety blanket as well, because you've got the previous cut that you've just done underneath. Link it up. Same again. And as you get thicker through here, you can actually see the guideline through it. So you've got a nice level cut underneath it, and you've got your guidelines either side. So you literally cannot go wrong. Doing this all the way through. Remembering to pull back slightly. So if I show you what I mean by pulling back slightly, if I was going to pull straight up, that's where the straight up would be. But then that means it's getting shorter as you're going forward. So if I'm pulling back into what I've just previously cut, as you can see the angle on the hair, to take it off, it's going to be nice and level all the way through, but maintaining that slope, maintaining that degree. As you can see there, you've got the previous cut, and you've got the elevation line and the centre profile line. Just take them off. Take that long bit through the middle off. It does seem a long process, guys, but when you get used to it, because of the safety blankets, it's even quicker. You're not going back through checking your work afterwards, or if you do need to afterwards, then you know exactly where it's come from. You know exactly what part you've gone wrong or you've missed. As like I said earlier, we are only humans, so we do miss certain sections, and we can make mistakes. Again, and then with the fringe section, which is this part, just pop all of that back then. Sorry guys, don't worry, I won't answer that. And as you can see then, so I pulled all of that back, let's connect it through. But because you're pulling this back, as you can see there's a bit more hair at the front there now, it's going to be enhance the length of the front again, because this is pulling further back than its point of origin. So if I was pulling it forward, like this, straight up, there'd be a lot more length coming off the front of the fringe. Where you want to enhance the length on the front of the fringe, so it gives you a better silhouette at the front, at the end of the finish. Oh. go back through if you like, just to double check. And then same again, but we're going to comb all of this forward again now. We're going to take anywhere from here, anywhere from your centre profile line really, and comb it back over the other side. So this is your newly cut hair, this is your uncut hair this side, but you've got your, so remember now guys, so this side is going to be exactly the same side as the other side. You're going to have a safety blanket this side, safety blanket from your centre profile line, and you're going to have, after your first hit, after your first cut here, you're going to have another safety blanket. So you're safe all the way through. So the first one, your centre profile, your elevation, long bit in the middle, take it off. Next section, putting it back slightly, and then you've got the 3. Centre profile, elevation, previous cut. You know, as long as your fingers are the same angle as it was the other side, there's not going to be any issues with the length either, matching either side. And as you get used to doing your section guys, it does get a lot faster. Same again, same again, same again, same again. It's about creating muscle memory. So you automatically just do what you need to do. Same again, so you can see your previous cut, your elevation, your previous cut and your centre profile. And then connecting your fringe through. Previous cut, elevation, and connecting it through. As you're connecting it through then, just go through to check. And there's a little bit to come off. There we are, and that's all that done. I will need to take some more weight out through the crown at the end, but I will do that just before I style because it will be a lot drier then, so I can see where it's naturally sitting. Now I'm going to do this one a bit different, so because it's going to be essentially it's going to be a backwards moving haircut. So I'm going to take sections like this, and I'm going to use my straight razor here to take the weight out on our texture, rather than going straight through the hair, forward. Ever so slightly, remembering it is a straight razor and it will just go straight through the hair. And this side of the hair is going to be moving forward. Same as my previous videos then, it's coming through. Using a thin side of my comb, make sure there's enough tension through the hair. So I'm moving on to the sides. Actually, I'll style it. Start to check the crown. Yeah, there's a little bit of excess weight needs to be taken out of here. I don't know if you can see this in the video, but when I style this now, it's going to be too much weight coming through the crown here. So that's all I'm going to do. Take the the hay wants to go, the hay is willing to go in that direction. If the hay doesn't tend to stay in exactly the same position you want to, it's probably because it's too dry. Let's wet it down again. So a diagonal section, elevation, connecting it through. Same again, remembering connecting it underneath. So what this is going to do, it's going to create a subtle blend. So as you can see there, that corner, this corner here, that needs to come off. That's what's creating the excess weight. So again, your previous cut, so that's your foundation, down here is your foundation, up here is your elevation, or the cut you've done on the top, and this extra long bit here, just take it off. That's what's creating the extra weight. Same again. Oh. Yeah, it's a lot better. So it's going to cause you, it's going to save you time, this is, guys, by doing it now whilst the hair's wet, because when you're going to go back through it when it's styled, you obviously know what it's like trying to get a comb through styled hair. Obviously you've all had a client sitting on a chair with product in and it's like, you try to yank it through. No, it isn't happening. So as you can see with my comb now, that's the kind of style that we're going to go for. So this is going to be elevated, the front, up and around, it's going to be a nice swerve coming through, working with the crown, not against it. So that's the kind of style we're going to be going for. So now I'm going to put my salt spray in and my essential. If you don't know what essential is, it's like a matte clay, but a very, very dry one. And the brand I'm using at the moment is Ruger, owned by Alan Beek and Reese Beek, two brothers. If you haven't heard of them, go and check them out. Boys are class and they're very, very nice people as well. Starting off with my salt spray, not too much. Now the salt spray is what gives it the elevation and the grip, helping you with the pre-style. And the volume, and then my essential is also going to give it the extra hold. Let's rub it through. Always seen me start with a 2 open. Today you're going to see me start with a 3 open. So because we're going for a 2 taper, so the blend needs to be a lot more subtle, not so harsh, and it doing a 3.5, and if you're doing a 2 batten sides, I'm only going down to a 2. So the blend needs to be a bit more weighted, a bit more. It just makes it a lot more fluid if you use a 3 open first before doing a 2 batten sides. Obviously, if you're doing a skin taper, if you're doing a skin, sorry, then it's actually going down the skin, so it doesn't. The squareness is already there from the 2.5. So coming up through the foundation, but remembering I've styled it that way, so you need to comb down through the foundation, which is there. As you can see now, I've generated another, the foundation is there again. So I've disconnected it from the style. So 3 open, straight up and through as I normally would with the 2.5. So again, I'm not creating a C motion, I'm not doing a reverse C or overcooking it, I'm literally just going straight up and through the foundation. As you can see, the blend is almost done for you then. You go straight through the foundation, up and through. Using your comb if you need to, as a backup, as a safety blanket, placing it in, taking it up, running, using the comb as an extra part of the head really, essentially. So now I've done half of the head with the 3 open, and come back through with the 3 closed. Again, I'm not touching the foundation now, I'm going straight up and through the 3.5. As I do my previous haircuts or any other haircut I do on the sides. This is essentially blending down essentially. And now start on my 3.5 this side. Again, remember you slide it that way, so you need to find your foundation. You need to find your foundation again, which is there. As you can see the difference now. You can see the scissor mark that's left from the foundation. Up and through again, and just connecting it into the back. So the reason why I started on this side instead of following right round is to make sure you don't go too high here at the front. Same as when I put my zero line when I'm doing skin fade. I will come all the way around and drop it down here and then connect it through here. Up and through, up and through. Again, down to a 3. Again, I'm not touching the foundation. The teeth are, but my clipper isn't. Connecting it back through the back. Coming around. There is a bit too much weight there for my liking, but we will obviously go with our scissor rope comb. And the same through here. There's a bit more weight than I'd like here. Scissor rope comb it, blend it later. Don't stress about what is above your clipper work, only stress what you need to do next. Going on to the 2 now. So I always start with the 2 open, because I'm doing a skin taper, but so now I will do, when I do a skin fade, obviously if you purchase my previous videos, then you'll understand my process with the skin fade. I'm doing a skin taper, so I start with my 3.5, then my 3, now my 2 open. Same again, just going up through the 3, not touching anything above the 3. Creating a nice soft blend. My movement is still up and through. Right around the back as well, as you can see here. Dropping down to a 2. Same again. You can see it's starting to get clean now. Right, and we're round to the back where you just finish off with the two open. Clean up from the bottom as well, because here's only having the two back sides skin taper. I have another bit of jackfruit. Right, now I'm going to move on to the other side as I finish the back. Again, this is to make sure I don't go too high here. So same principle, up and through. Onto a two. Getting as clean as possible. Going back over all different directions, all different angles. You can use the corner of the blade as you need to. But normally, if I'm working, well, it's not normally, it's every time I cut hair, while I'm going from right to left, I'm pushing with this half of my blade. So I'm not using this half, I'm only using this half. So I'm going this way, that side is not even on the hair. Just creates more precision. And then vice versa. So I'm going left to right, it's the same principle. This half of the clipper then is never on the head. Quite like that. So there we have it, the two is done. Now we're going to use, not this obviously, use my low pros now. Quickly disinfect. Right, so how I gauge my tapers is what kind of style it is. So obviously with Jack now here, he has it's naturally lower here through the recession. So I'm not going to go in and put my zero line up here because of how low it is here through the recession. Obviously if it's higher, you can move the zero higher. But if I put it higher, then that means you're going to lose all shape and control here, and then it means it's going to look like a skin fade here and a taper at the back. It's going to look weird. So it's always about what they're wearing on top when it comes to tapers, for myself. Obviously each individual is completely different, so you might disagree with what I just said there, but this is how I work it. Just starting with jack here now. I'm going to angle it from the top of the ear to the bottom of the recession here. Sometimes I might go higher up again, but this is how I'm going to angle it here with this kind of style. I'm going to stab it in. My guide. Low fade in a bit. So Jack's gonna have a nice low fade. Jack's gonna have a nice low fade on a beard. Like I just said, as I was mentioned, that's how I do it. Guys, there's no right or wrong way how to cut hair. As long as the outcome is exactly what you wanted, it doesn't matter how you get there. As long as the skin feels nice and clean, doesn't matter how you do it. As long as the top's nice and styled and the wearability with it and the longevity of the haircut it lasts. It doesn't matter how you cut it, as long as it does that. So now, because Jack, these hairs, the side of the back of his nape, they're quite fair. So when they go too short, it looks faded. So this here, for it to look very nice tapered, it needs to come like a circle in the middle. So I'm lower on the outsides than what I am in the middle. Pulling it down. Sorry. So as you can see, you can naturally see that now. It's naturally lighted towards the edge. So I'm going to create this shape. With my zero. As I said, reason being is because I want to keep the darkness on the outside. Same as doing the drop fade when it comes to leaving the colours at the front for the shape up. This is essentially a shape up when it comes to a taper. So there we are, here you have that. Same again, same this side. Obviously you don't want the different sides, you don't want them looking different in the fades or the tapers. The top of the ear, going just to the recession. Pulling down on the skin, not up. The reason being is because if you pull up, you're pulling the hair tighter to the blend. So as if you pull it down, all you're doing is tightening the skin. You're not moving the skin at all. You're pulling it. You're just making the tension tighter, so it's easier for the clippers to get shorter to the hair, tighter to the scalp, tighter to the scalp. I have zero gap these, but they're not too sharp. Obviously, as you can see, it's not that short. Using my mirror, my most important tool, gauging the beard, gauging the taper lines, the zero lines. It's pretty good to me. I'm now going in with my Low Pro Barbless Pro Low Pros skeletons. These, oh no, I dropped them the other day and they're broken. So they need to be repaired. So I'm going to have to use my skeletons, my FX skeleton FXs. Again, these need to be taken apart as well. So, similar way to how I fade, I do a skin fade. 2 seconds guys, let me rectify my phone. Same way how I do my fade. Leaving a nice little gap. Going quite tight, but not all the way up. So I'll switch into my fade blade, my fade brush rather than my comb. Pulling down on the skin. Just get prepping it for the foilers. So again, keep maintaining this semicircle shape. Nice and lightly with the skeletons as well guys, remember they are super tight, super close. Maintaining that semicircular shape. Just rectify it now, I can see better. There's cleaner. There we are. Same on the other side. So my process for the tapering is a little bit different to, well actually it's exactly the same when fading, as I will do my zero line right way around, my skeleton's right way around, my foiler line right, my foiler's right way around, rectify the zero line, and then I will fade this part, then I will finish off tapering this side, the nape, and then this side. So I will not do it bit by bit by bit by bit, I will just do one side, one side, one side. Now I use my foilers. Again, not going too tight to the skeleton line. I'm very, very light. As you can see, my fingers here, so I'm only using the one blade. It is a taper at the end of the good day, guys. You don't want to create any harsh lines, otherwise you're going to end up taking them way, way, way too high. Circular motions through. Nice and lightly towards the top. Bit more pressure through the middle here. That's what makes the taper pop, guys, is this part. Same again with the back of the nape. Same again this side. There we are, and now I'm going to go in, like I said previously, this is the most important part of the fade, taper, whatever it is, it's the zero line. This is why I use 4 pairs of clippers. So I use my low pros, I use my skeletons, I use the foilers, and I use my Andis. Now, I use my Andis, these are the only ones that I've found so far that is the perfect distance between the low pro, so the zero and the skeletons. And plus they were already in my inventory anyway, to save me buying anything anyway. So obviously you've done your zero line, you've done your skeleton line, and then you've done your skin line. But this is the most important line, because if there's lines here, it's going to deflect your eyesight later on, so the rest of it's not going to be as clean. So just tidying up from the skeleton line, the foiler line and everything else, just making it a lot more subtle to the eye. Same around the nape, not going anywhere near the zero, literally just tidying up that skeleton line. So this is longer than the skeleton, shorter than the zero. Turn it around if you need to, it does get a little bit closer that way. Now I'm going to use jam. Use my bar on this for this one. Focus. now I'm going to go straight in, open blade. Create that little gap. So you're creating another line essentially. Well, you are creating another line. Creating your 0.5 line. And you're going to do it half open. This is why I love the barber disc, because it's got the clickies. So that would be 2 clicks in, using the corner of the blade, knocking out that 0 line then. One click closed again. Again, making that 0 line disappear. Closed. So these are a little bit shorter than the low pros just because it's got an FX blade on it, it's just a thinner blade at the top. Understanding the tools, guys, it just saves you so much time and so much overthinking when you're actually doing a haircut. So when I'm doing this day to day, I don't actually think about what I'm doing, it just naturally happens. Unless I want to try a new way of fading or tapering or etc, etc, then you have to think, obviously. There we are, that's the 0 line gone, into a 0.5. So now I'm going to go to a 1.5 guard, and I'm going to fade down into that 0.5. So this is open. Look at the angles of my clipper work now. So I'm not, remember this is a 2. So this is like a short 2 and this is open. So essentially you're just making your life easier by going through the guards here. Half closed. So again, just using my corner of my blade. And down to a 1, open. Flicking through. Half open. Flicking through again, just using my corner of my blade. Oh, sorry. Closed. Right in there, Jack. So I don't know if you can see in the camera, but Jack's hairs actually come onto his ear. So yeah, it's a bit tricky when you're trying to tape one around those. You don't know what actually part you need to take off when you're going to leave to take the off of the scalpels. Just keep on working those dark patches. I don't like to pull up on the hair here like I have here, but sometimes it's necessary. Now dropping down to my 0.5 guard. Now this should technically clean it all up, but obviously that's technically, figuratively speaking, as they say. So corner of the blade all the way through, half open, sorry it's not fully open, half open. Remember with a taper you've got a lot smaller area to work with than what you have with a skin fade. It can be tricky. Very tricky. Closed, 1 click. Or if you're using Wal where they haven't got the clicky lever, how I work it in my head is all the way open, all the way closed, and half open, quarter closed. So that I have, like, in my head I have 5 clicks, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As you work it, so sometimes you'll see me working, if you ever see me working on stage or on a stall or in the barber events, and I'm using wall, I'll constantly be going all the way through a cut, because it hasn't got the clickies. Don't ask me why they haven't got it, because it is a game changer. It makes our life so much easier. So, the 0.5 guard hasn't properly cleaned it up. So you just go back to Beyblade. All the way open. Obviously you know your work, guys. Having a process like this, it just saves time, because you know, okay, right, that isn't taking this off, okay, we need to drop it down to that. If you haven't got a structural way of cutting hair, then it does just make it harder for yourself. I know it is when you're stuck in old habits and bad habits, it is hard to change and get used to a new regime of cutting, a way of cutting, regime, fucking structure, whatever you want to call it. It is hard, but when you get into that routine then of how you cut, that it just changes everything, because it speeds things up. It might slow things down at the start, but then when you actually get used to it, it will speed things up tenfold. When you're cutting faster, it means more money, because there's more bums in the seats. So that's that side of the taper done. Moving on to the nape. Exactly the same process. Beyblade open. Creating, remember now there's an angle here, there's a semicircle, so you've got to follow that as well. So create that 0.5 line. All the way around, all the way down. As you can see, the growth pattern towards the edge kicks out away from, so this grows down naturally, this grows out naturally. So you've got to work with it, so you've got to move your clippers to however, or manipulate your clippers to however the growth is. So half open. Corner of the blade. One more click closed. Closed. Corner of the blade right away through. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Same again, now I've done this, 1.5 guard open, just a short tool. Obviously there's a bit more room to work with around here, because obviously the length is different, the length of the head is completely longer, completely different, sorry. Oh, excuse me guys.
Just trying to tell me I've got a long hair for you.
Pretty much.
You drink? No, I'm okay.
So again, and now I'm going to go fully closed. Remembering the angle though, remembering the shape of the semicircle. It's a bit stuffy in the shop tonight, guys, so it's a bit sweaty. Woo! Weather's been hammering today. Again, it's fully closed. Going with the semicircle as well. Corner of the blade, right around. Excuse me, guys. Let's open this door. Some fresh air in here. Oh. I do apologise, guys. Do apologise. Right, moving down to the one. Open. Following that semicircle all the way around again, using the corner of the blade as you're moving left to right, and vice versa as you're going the other way. Still fully open, half open, one click more closed, so it's 3/4 closed. Fully closed. Sorry guys, don't know where this cough's come from. I'm going to drop down to my 0.5 guard, half open, remembering the angle, the shape of it, moving with, okay?
Yeah.
Moving with. Sorry guys, don't know what the hell happened there, but it cut out. The camera cut out. Lucky enough it did make a noise this time, not like the last time. Yeah, so it's half open, following the semicircle around, following the shape, using the corner of the blade as always. Using your mirror as well guys, remember the mirror does not lie. It is essentially your third eye. Fully closed, corner of the blade. I know some people do like to do the shape first with it when they taper in. I personally don't, because I like to see it take shape at the end and to seeing everything come together. But again, each of their own. There is no right or wrong way of cutting hair. As long as you are happy and your client is happy, then nothing else matters. And now I'm going to pop back up to the 1.5, the 1 guard, and just literally, see, I'm going to use it as if I'm point cutting, using with my scissors, but I'm going to use the clippers instead. Start with some of these dark patches. I'm happy with this at the moment. Obviously there will be something wrong on bare blade. So I noticed again my process, I know my process is half open, corner of the blade, I know what length that is. If you are looking to buy any FXs or anything guys, any of these or the low pros, then go to Unique Barber Suppliers through Instagram and tell them that I sent you. You won't have any discount or anything, just tell them I sent you, you'll be doing me a massive favour. And to be fair, even though they're from America, like I received these within 7 days. So I'll place my order. And there you have it, that's the taper done there. So now I'm going to go on to this side. The next side. Same again, creating my gap with my 0.5 gap. Ooh, some talc. My 0.5. My bare blade, sorry. Half open. 3/4 open. 3/4 closed, sorry. Sorry guys. Closed. Working through it as you feel fit as well, guys. Like, if you feel that you want to take it higher, or you want to leave a bit more weight there, or whatever, just you do you. But this is my process. In the days, you learn from everywhere. I always learn, even when I do education classes. I learn from everybody that's there because I watch how they cut, and I might learn a thing or two. Do you know, I might find a new way that I haven't seen before and add it into my way of cutting, or try it and I'll really like it. It's about generating something that suits you as a person when you're cutting. It's not about just being a robot. It's about enjoyment as well, guys. So again, 1.5 guard open, closed. One guard open, corner of the blade, going into that guard, going into 1.5 guard, nice and subtle. Half open. Closed. Corner of the blade again. Half blade, half guard, sorry. Half open. Fully open, sorry guys. Fully open now. Half closed, half open. 3/4 closed. Closed. As I said earlier, he's got hairs right down onto his glove holes, so work with what you've got, guys, I suppose, around there. Everything else about his hair is amazing, apart from his ears. Well, his ears are fine, the hairs on his ears are fine, yeah.
I was going to say, they're not that big.
Jack's got very sensitive skin as well, guys, so I would like to use a cutthroat on him to make it extra sharp, but you can't, unfortunately. I really can't. Trust me, it's fucking annoying because look how good it would be. He's got jet black hair, how good the shape up would be, it would be unreal. But yeah, unfortunately, Jack's skin's just way too sensitive, and it's not just sensitive for an hour or two, it's for days. He'll have red marks all over him for days. We've tried everything as well. We've tried hot towels, we've tried fucking gels, shaving foams. Nah.
It's really bad shit.
Yeah, none of it works. And it looks fucking horrendous in videos and pictures and stuff. So yeah. And it's not even as if you just go away for an hour or two and come back when the redness is gone for me to take photos. It's literally there for a few days. Looks like you've been slapping him about like. Oh, and by the way, he is actually my brother. He's not just Jack, my brother as a friend. He is actually my brother. Ah, no, it wasn't recording on my phone. That would have been good. Sorry guys, I'm going to repeat that just for the gram, okay? Alright guys, he is actually my brother as well. He's not just Jack, my brother, like you're my brother. He is actually my brother. Like, yeah, same mothers and stuff. So yeah, you know what I mean? Same parents, yes, you know, my other's my brother, yeah, you know.
That one.
That one, yeah. Right, so before I shape the back up and everything like that, I'm just going to fly through the beard quickly. I have got a beard tutorial out on all my other ones, so I'm not going to go into great depth on Jack's beard. It's just a 3 faded in. I will slightly talk you through it, but in my other previous videos, they are actually zoomed in and dedicated beards on those other videos. So if you haven't seen those guys, drop me a message, I can send you all the details to purchase those ones as well. So I'm just going to fly through this one. This is a 3. And I'm going to use a 2 open, come from, so bottom of the lobe, really that's where the 2 is here. So I'm just going to connect as if you're fading down from the 3 here, 3.5 here or whatever, fading it down. You're just doing exactly the same process, but you're doing it reversed. Side. Sorry guys. Sorry Jack. Where this cough come from? COVID. I haven't actually got COVID. Not that it matters, just
You can't get it.
yeah, you can't get it anyway. I said that as if you were in a room then. I'm going to drop down to a 1, guard open. Half open. Fully closed. Bed blade. Working through the notches until that line's gone by here. Using the corner of the clippers, guys, is unreal. It like just leaves you notch, like you're photoshopping essentially. You're letting more light through. So you're taking the longer hairs off to create an opening for light to hit, because obviously light is what you see. There you have it, that's the faded beard. Obviously doesn't look perfect yet because it's not shaped up. What am I doing? Same again, I've done my two open, 2 closed here, so same again now, 1 open. If you really want to see me go into depth, guys, I would recommend buying George and Niall's videos, because I go really in depth with their beards. Niall is pretty much what Jack has got, but I go into my full depth with him reclined and everything. And he's got a longer beard at the front. Oh no, sorry, Niall's is growing out to be longer, and George's is longer at the front. George is a really handsome ginger one on my profile. Niall's a handsome fucker too, but George is very handsome. Not saying that no one else is on my page, I'm just saying he's the one to look out for my thing. But just drop me a message if you are interested in purchasing that video. So again, Beyblade now is going to work through the notches. Right. Yeah, it's good. Right, so now that the taper and stuff's done, I'm going to go back through, before I shape it all up, before I take the solid flash out and stuff, I'm going to go back through and slightly comb it down. So as you can see, there's a definite line there, and there's a definite line this side. So I'm just going to scissor over comb that to make the blend subtle for when he hasn't styled it the way I style it. So I'm going to use my I normally use my arrows, but for this kind of cut, because it's nice and subtle, I want to create a subtle one, I'm going to use my 5.5 icons. And I'm just going to slowly scissor over comb. With the wide tooth, with the wide side of my wires park, just going to go straight up. Getting rid of most of this weight here. Removing that corner that I left. Just create a nice subtle bend through here, through all the way through the foundation, connecting it properly into the elevation line. Going all the way through, right around to the other side. So as you can see, there's a lot more excess weight here. This is where I left it with the corner. I then come right way around. A lot more subtle there now. A lot more manageable for Jack. So this side is always going to be going forward or brush forward with him, as you can see. I'm back on to double check.
Whoopsie.
So now I'm going to finish off styling. First I'm just going to put a bit more product through it. I'm going to wet it down again a little bit and get the elevation back to create that styling again. And add a bit more product to it this time. And I'm going to finish off with creative styling. So a bit more essential. So exactly the same as I did before, but this time I'm going to be adding the actual creative coming through with the channeling and all that, which you will see in a minute. And then I will shape it all up. Jack's ready to rock and roll. This time I will use the thin nozzle to give it a bit more elevation, and this time I'm going to start from this side. see that shape there now? And now I'm going to go on to the crown. So, putting the crown this way here. As you can see, it's starting to take shape here. Working with the crown, not against it. Now, there we go. As you can see, I've worked with the crown, not against it. Now, just to get the creative styling coming through the top, add a little bit of hairspray. Where's that one? Right, I don't normally use Osmo, I normally use Got to Be for styling, but I think Dan might have taken it on holiday. So this just ensures the volume. Sorry Jack, you won't be able to breathe. No?
Sorry.
A bit further got to be, it's not as intense in the lungs. And the whole is just clean off. And coming through, so you're going to work with, sorry guys, so you're going to work, so obviously spraying from a distance, I'm not this close, spraying from a distance. Getting those channels popping. Here we are, that's the styling, the silhouette, nice and fluid all the way through. Now I'm going to go into the shape up. So obviously when I'm shaping up I won't touch the top. Just give it a little bit more hold. So now I'm going to use the skeleton to shape up. I'll take away most of this baby hair here, angle it around, creating a lovely C into the beard. And how I'm going to do this is I'm just going to simply start in the corner of the recession. Making this line on the forehead lovely and sharp. And going back to the sensitivity thing with Jack, as you can see, is slightly getting redder now just by using the skeletons. Creating that C, and come round the corner of my blade. Nice lovely C there. using my crown as the line and I use for my throat. Ever so gentle with the scalpels as they are super sharp. As you all know, if you own a pair, they can catch an open, like I just did, can catch an open pore. Creating the C around the ear. And the same, you don't want it too narrow at the back for the neck, and as you can see this is just pop now. This enhances, as soon as you do the shape up here on a taper, this enhances the taper. Right guys, I hope you've enjoyed the video, the tutorial. I appreciate you more than you will ever know. Thank you for helping me grow. Thank you for giving me some life back in barbering. I kind of got a bit stagnant with it, and now I found out something I really enjoy, and that's because of you guys helping me grow and showing me support and love. Keep on sharing, guys. Keep on tagging me. I will keep on supporting you just like you have me. And peace, love. Mwah! Thank you very much.